I'm very skeptical that the Latin America as a whole can count on labor costs to compete. Yes, I know that wages in China has been rising fast, but the fact is, when you look at Latin America, in many of those countries, wages are rising even faster, helped by exchange rate appreciation. And even so, when you think in the medium and long term, I mean, China still has roughly 40% of its population in agriculture. These people are going to move into manufacturing eventually, which is going to keep putting a downward pressure on wages. And even if you think that China, okay, it's going to graduate fastly, India is coming along with equally huge population, which is going to make competition in labor-intensive goods even harder. So, when I think of the future in terms of making sure that the region can diversify its exports, I think that the key main advantages are in natural resource-intensive goods, I mean, adding value to the natural resources that the region has, and the fact that the region is close to the biggest market in the world. And also has a big domestic market to take advantage of. In other words, the advantages of proximity. So either natural resources or proximities, these two factors make or give things like transport costs and logistics and strategic importance that they didn't have before. So when we think about in terms of a bilateral trade agenda, I would, put a lot of emphasis on those issues. It's not just trade barriers and trade agreements anymore, but making sure that the region, by investing in infrastructure, by improving trade facilitation, by improving business at the border, it can take advantage of those type of advantages in natural resource goods and time-sensitive goods, things where it can really compete with the U.S. If we look at, for instance, the manufacturing exports that Mexico is doing well in the U.S., it has been, withstanding well the pressure from Asia, is exactly those type of goods that are very transport-intensive or time-sensitive. So it clearly shows that where the advantages are. And in this sense, I very much welcome the emphasis that the Treasury has put on this type of agenda, this transport costs and logistics agenda, the support that the Treasury has given to initiatives like the Crossroad Fund. I think the IDB, it's very much on this direction. And again, it's not that I'm saying that the old trade agenda, it's over. We just have to look at South America. There's a big agenda in terms of bringing tariffs and non-tariffs down. But clearly, I think there is a big return in this other agenda, which has the additional advantage. It doesn't require the type of broad political consensus that you need for pushing trade agreement forwards.